welcome to Fishbowl Roulette. For those of you just joining us the first time, this is the podcast of random conversation, random real questions drawn out of it. You guessed a fishbowl. I have a guest every time, and today's guest is Joe Eldridge. Anybody in the trucking world knows him as Show Truck Joe. Show Truck Joe, he is from Texas. I have just met him. He has an amazing beard you all can't see, so I suggest go finding him on his social media. So this is Show Truck Joe, also known as...
Truck Show Joe.
Truck Show Joe. I'm sorry.
It flows better that way.
It does flow better that way.
A lot of people do call me that, just for the record.
But real name is Joe Eldridge.
My real name is Joe Eldridge, yes.
Yeah. So we are at the Laid Back on I-55 trucking event. I've never been to a truck show in my entire life.
Oh, so first time?
This is my first time, and I was walking around last night, and first of all, there's a guy who rides around in a truck with a kangaroo.
I saw that.
Did you see that guy?
I've seen him at other shows. It's a thing. He does shows.
I said, how do you pet your kangaroo? He said, oh, you cannot pet the kangaroo. He said, but he rides with me. And I said, what do you do with them? Sell them? And he said, oh, no, these are my babies. And I thought, there's a lot going on in trucks that I don't know anything about.
So he has more than one?
Yes.
With him right now?
Well, now I don't know about that.
Okay. I only saw one. I was like, well, hey, there is some people that had some goats.
In their truck?
Yep. That goats.
There's a couple of questions in here that's like, what's the weirdest thing that you've hauled? But I now think after being at the show, it should be, what's the weirdest thing you've seen a trucker have in the cab?
Right. Yeah. You may not. You may not want to get. Somebody might answer that. This is my first time here at this show, so we're both first timers here.
Okay.
Yes.
So before we dive into the bowl, so just so you know, the way this works is these are random questions. There's beliefs which are not necessarily specific to trucking culture, just to people. Wild card, and then I've built some to trucking culture, and then there's a couple of little introspective questions for you to answer.
That's fine. I'm game.
The whole point of this, and I think I shared this with you a little bit last night, is I'm a recruiter by day, and I have learned that people have fascinating stories, and we all have something to share from all walks of life. And I am 100% about creating human connection, right, because I don't know any other way that ordinary people can make the world a better place.
Yes.
And I'm not like all sparkles all the time, but I do have that fundamental belief that most people are doing the best they can, and let's go talk about it and talk about why you're built that way.
And I think that anytime you do, I'm going to turn it off so we don't hear it. Anytime you watch a podcast, really kind of the main goal is to learn something you didn't already know.
Yeah.
Either about somebody or just a story, or if you take anything away from it, you did good. I think we probably are going to make that happen.
I think so.
For one, you just learned we've never been to this show before.
We've never been to the show. We just met last night.
That's true.
Yeah, and you made it down to Palms. We'll talk about that later as we get further into it.
That's probably a whole other podcast.
Palms is a whole other. I've been there one time.
You could have a fishbowl questionnaire on just Palms.
Palms is a local bar, let's call it.
Yes.
It's in a basement.
It's in a basement.
It's in a basement. Yes. All good things happen in a basement that's a bar.
Yeah, and they stay open late.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I think we should mention we're in Perryville, Missouri.
That's a great idea. Yes. We are in Perryville, Missouri. Yes. So I'm originally from Cape Girardeau, which is an hour, not even an hour, 30 minutes south. And I started this podcast like 6 months ago, and here we are doing it. I've never done this kind of production, so we're having a brand new experience together, Joe.
Yes.
I love it.
The little Airbnb deals we're in here, I have one down below. Very nice.
Yeah, they're cool. Did you meet Carissa yet?
Is she the person?
She owns this. Mary Jane's restaurant. She owns that. Yeah. She participates in all this, but she's done a lot. Downtown Perryville is a very proud community, and I mean that in a great way.
No, I would say.
And their downtown is kind of kicking.
It's kind of kicking, yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the fact. So I do a lot of truck shows, obviously. I really like that everything's right here. I don't have to get in a car and leave. We can go eat. There's like 3 or 4 places we can eat. You can grab a drink if that's something you'd want to do.
Yeah.
And kind of everything's just right here.
Did you grab a drink last night, Joe?
Last night?
Yeah.
I didn't think we were going to talk about last night. We're talking about today.
I'm just saying. You didn't?
No. We may have had a few.
If you got to Palms, you definitely had a drink. Okay.
Yes.
Fishbowls. We can start anywhere you want. We don't answer all of these questions. Sometimes people think it's going to be all of them.
Left or right?
Whichever way you want. These are the introspective. This is beliefs. I don't know what happened to my little tab. It's gone.
Let's go in there first.
Dig around in there.
And am I just saying yes or no to these?
No. Oh no. This is and you have to read the question out loud.
Okay, I can do that.
Surprising how many times I have to tell people that.
What do you believe makes anyone truly successful? Oh man. I think that for somebody to be successful, and keep in mind, I'm not one of those people. So. But I have observed some other people that are. Now that I know you, I started following your social media. You're doing something right. I know how to get followers.
You've got a lot of followers.
What is success? Let's hold up. What is successful though? Like that means you have money. That's a question and a question.
Well, what do you think is success?
I would think successful means you're doing very well monetarily. But like you don't have to worry. You know what I mean? I see a lot of stuff now that's like, I don't have to have a schedule. That's way more, you know what I mean? Like, okay, if you're making...
Do you have kids?
I do. Yeah.
How old are your kids?
They're old. They're 26, 24, and 22.
Okay, so my age kids too. I have a 25-year-old and a 23-year-old as of today. Yeah. And their thinking is different.
Yes, true. So I don't know. For successful, I would just say you'd have money. That's what makes you successful. I think you got to have a really good work ethic. And I think you have to kind of read between the lines and see a little different picture of things to be successful. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay. I think that's an interesting take.
A lot of stuff is on my feed about, if you would have, here you go. This is super simple. I saw a study today and blew my mind. $27.40, if you do the math on it, if you save or don't spend $27.40 a day, you'll have $10,000 at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's
a pretty low number of, you know what I mean?
Right. That's so like a value meal and a coffee.
Exactly. If you just, now everybody likes that, right. But if you did away with that every day and didn't spend it somewhere else and kept that $27.40 a day, you'd have $10,000.
And that's just cash on cash. That's probably not even invested with compound interest.
No. Yeah, no.
That's just addition.
Just in your account. If you didn't spend if you had $10,000 in an account and you didn't spend $27.40 a day, you'd still have $10,000.
Okay, so first of all, because we're talking about success, you drive a truck.
I do drive a truck.
Oh, there's more to the story.
Yeah, I'm not a truck driver though.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, I can drive a truck. I'm also not a truck driver, but that's not what you said.
Yes, true. I am a truck driver. I don't haul loads.
Okay. What do?
I drive trucks to truck shows and get ready for truck shows, and I do social.
You represent a brand.
I am Truck Show Joe, and I work for Southern Transport, and I am their social relations guy.
Oh, really cool. So I was not entirely sure which came first.
Yeah, no, that is it.
How did you find your way into social media with trucking?
Luck, I guess. Yeah. I like to take pictures. It just kind of, I can get into that, but that's like a whole thing.
Can you give me, that's part of the deal is
I was obsessed.
Share who you are.
Okay, so I was obsessed with trucking. Hold on. I was a truck driver. I was just a regular everyday truck driver. I'd like to think I was a little better than some, but anyway.
A little above average.
Yeah, I was trucking.
Not successful, but above average.
Exactly. I've always worked for other people. I kept my stuff phenomenally clean. I spent my own money fixing them up. So I always kind of had a rep as, hey, that guy's always got a nice truck. And then that led me here and there and blah, blah, blah. I kind of started doing social media with another niche, a little thing that I was into, like a hobby, basically. But no fee. You're not going to find me on Feet Finder. But good idea. Joe. That's why I'm not successful.
Welcome.
Clearly.
Welcome to Fishbowl Roulette.
Yeah, exactly. So when I got out of trucking for a few years, when I got back into trucking, I was just kind of like, man, if we've got all this social media stuff. Like when I was really obsessed with it, if I'd have had an iPhone that I took really good pictures, I would have posted. So I started taking really good pictures. And we actually got in trouble at Southern for that because some people were posting stuff they really shouldn't post, And so the trucking company's like, no social media. But then they started getting calls. Hey, we've been seeing this Joe guy's posting like him and this Kevin. There was a guy named Kevin. We were kind of doing it. And so then they came back and were like, hey, we've been getting a little bit of feedback from that. Some drivers are actually calling wanting to drive because they saw the trucks. Maybe we'll let you post, but you can't do this. There was like rules.
Sure.
So I like to think that we kind of changed the social media world for it.
Yeah.
And then I asked to go to some truck shows, and I actually went out to some truck shows. And the boys, I say boys because they're twins, that's my bosses. the boys came to a show, and I like went all out, and it was a no trophy show. Everybody was like, Joe, you're like cleaning like way too good. Like, there's no
Slow it down. Slow it down.
And I literally told him, Chad Berry's his name. I said, Chad Berry, hey, Chad, my bosses are coming. And I was like, if I'm going to do this is my interview right here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so they came and they saw me talking to people, and I'm pretty social. So I learn people's names, and I'm like, hey, people are saying hi when they walk by and everything. And so the boys that night, that was at the 589 reveal at the racetrack in Texas there, Texas Motor Speedway. And that night, right before they were unveiling, everybody's just kind of waiting out there. And they're like, hey, you're really good talking to people. But, you're not an idiot. You're somebody behind the scenes. But they were like, you're a guy we could like send out and actually talk about stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and then it just kind of turned into this. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. I do drive trucks. I do shuffle, bobtail, usually trucks around for us. If a driver was to get sick, and say a driver had a major medical thing happen in
you could feel it.
Kansas City, Kansas, he would go park his truck. They would rush him over to the airport, rush him home or hospital or whatever, and they would call me and be like, Joe, we need you to go to Kansas City and drop his truck back. Or take a truck up and switch out. I do that sometimes.
Well, I think so you define success a couple of ways. Like you touched on money, which a lot of people define like having money as success. The other thing that you said was you kind of got to see it a little different and kind of read between the lines. I find it interesting that the impact that you created before you had this role led to people calling the company
right, and
saying, hey, this looks really interesting to me, and it's making your company look interesting to me.
Exactly.
Where is this guy? And then they came to you. Well, I think that's the very definition of success.
Guess what, guys? I just learned I am successful.
I mean, really?
No, I guess I could see that. So I kind of went to them and I said, hey, I always wanted to go to truck shows, but I never really had a truck. And this was in January, and the shows were in September. I said, there's 2 weeks. There's two shows exactly 2 weeks apart. If I'll truck pretty much the whole year, not really take off. I want to take those 2 weeks off and take this truck to the truck show. And they're like, yeah. And so that was the first thing. And then I got to send the 589 reveal. And then we went here, and then we went there. And then finally they were like, they had some show trucks that they had shown back in like 09 or 10, but they got out of it. And they've just been sitting in a barn. So they're like, would you want to get all the old trucks out? I'm like, sure, but I need like a month to do it. So I parked my truck. I was just a truck driver then. I parked my truck, and I worked on those trucks for about a month. Or definitely 3 or 4 weeks, and then we showed up at the show and we won a bunch of trophies, and they were like,
that's awesome.
Would you want to do that more? And I was like, I don't know. And hey, I actually was burned out from that show because so we took 5.
Yeah, it had to be a ton of work.
We took 5 trucks. One guy took care of one. One we didn't really clean up because we weren't really trying to win with it. We were using it to haul stuff and to sleep in. There was a show that didn't have motel rooms. So really 3 trucks I took care of completely. But cleaning 3 trucks at a show is way too much fun.
Yeah, that's a lot.
When I left that show, I was like, well, I got that out of my system. No more trucks.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then they're like, do you want to go do this? And I'm like, so yeah, when I went to them, they're like, would you want to do it? And I'm like, yeah, I think maybe I would. But I was like, guys, I can't, I'll keep driving for you. That's fine. I'm making you money. And then when the truck shows come up, I'll do them. But I can't come in on Thursday night, clean trucks all night, go to the show Friday, Saturday, and then leave out.
Right.
Like, I'm going to need some days. And I just kind of joked. I was like, really, honestly, if you really wanted me to do it. I need to be like, that kind of needs to be my job. And they're like, what if it was your job? And I'm like, what if it was my job? So, yeah.
Okay, so this is a little woo-woo. You might be a little woo-woo. I think it's the glasses that make me think that because they're a little edgy. What's your take on manifestation?
Well, so I met a girl in a bar one night. She was just in there talking.
This is going to be a good one.
No. It's really not like that. This is a very friendly meet. And she had a brand new Lincoln car. Like I don't know what year it's 2023. I mean, this thing's got the dealer tags on it. And she says, yeah, that was on my vision board. I'm like, what? She goes, my vision board. She goes, like Manifest Your Destiny. And I'm like, what? She goes, you're not into this? And I'm like, no. So she turned me on to the book.
The Secret.
The Secret.
She
said,
don't watch the movie. It's terrible, but the book is excellent.
Okay, so the book, she says, you don't know about The Secret. And I'm like, no, I don't. I feel like it's a secret. How was I going to know about it? You know what I mean? So anyway, I ended up talking to her for a long time that night. And I went and read the book. Now, I want to be clear about that. I did not read the entire book. I read a short
Cliff Notes version?
No, I read into it, but I got into a certain point, and to me, it's very. I'm a Star Wars kid. Jedi's, you know how the Jedi's think that you're connected to the ground and the energy and the plants and all that. That book kind of starts to go in that realm, and I'm like, that might be a little woo-woo for me. But what I got from the first couple chapters pretty much told me this is kind of. I had to get to there because that's where my okay. So where I'm at on it right now is. I would try to plan stuff, and it would always, especially trucking, when I was a truck driver, it was really hard to get off. Even though you gave them your dates, it was very hard to get off. So it's very hard to I want to go to Supercross. Well, I don't want to buy tickets till the last minute because if I don't get to go.
Right.
And it seemed like the more I tried to go to it, it didn't work out. And my take on it was instead of trying to manifest it to happen, I would just say, I'm going to see what happens. I'm not even going to take off those days, but I'm going to go ahead and buy the tickets. I could sell them to somebody, and I'm just going to say, I'm going to end up at Supercross. I don't know how it's going to work out, but it's going to work out. And sure enough, on Thursday night, they're like, man, we really don't have nothing till Monday, but I hate to send you home. I'll take it. I'll go home.
That's awesome.
And it just kind of started happening. So that's kind of manifesting it in a different way, probably.
I don't know. I'm a believer in that. I'll use this interview as a catalyst to that conversation. So 3 weeks ago, I'd never even met James or Tiffany.
Okay.
And it was about a month ago that Carissa turned me on to the event. She was like, hey, I have this opportunity. I was like, okay, great. Knowing nothing about it. And then he does the podcast with Tiffany and now has connected me with you, has connected me with Chris. And this is not what I expected from a trucking event.
Right.
But the point of the podcast is to show the unexpected in humans. So your whole story just sort of unfolded here in a way that I could never have predicted because based on what I know before walking into this, you were a trucker, and I've been like, I don't know, how am I going to get a trucker to tell their story because I don't know anything about truckers or trucking culture. And what you just pointed me to is what everybody is, which is there's always so much more to the story.
Yes.
And you're sitting here, you're a great interview. I can already tell that. That's just where it's headed. So now I am on the woo-woo stuff in that, do you remember?
You went further in the book. She went further.
Did you go to science class and study atoms?
Probably was just looking at girls or something.
That's probably right. Yeah.
Yes, inside.
Yeah, but
we did have science class with the labs.
So this is where I kind of go. This seems like empty space, but it's really not. It's atoms. It's all the stuff moving around. So if there's not any empty space, where does Joe end and where does Sandra begin?
Right.
We're separate. But, it's very woo-woo.
But you can be connected, yes.
Yeah.
I read a lot of books that way. I also read Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah, it's a great book.
And I need to get further into it because
so there's a stopping point in every book for you where you go this is the maximum?
No, I just get into it and I'm like, well, I can already use what I've read.
Okay.
A little bit. You know what I mean?
I can go
maybe I'm not ready for the next chapter. I need to work on this chapter for a little bit.
I'll tell you what, there's a really good book that I think everybody should read. The author's name is Joe Dispenza, and I'm going to get the exact name wrong, which I do all the time, but it's basically how to stop the bad habit of being yourself. A friend of mine gave it to me. Wow. He was homeless when he was given this book. He's now living in Miami, killing it in real estate. And he gave me this book before that. But when you start to read it, you're just like, oh, I'm the one actually just doing all of that.
Yeah, you are like you were saying. Well, so to back up, I do believe in the manifestation, and I really do try to manifest stuff. But I feel like I'm using it. I'm not really on such a low key, but just staying positive. You know what I mean?
It's a choice.
Yeah,
it's a choice.
Yeah,
it's a choice. The Meaning of Life. I bungled this in a podcast. The Meaning of Life is a book that was written by a Holocaust survivor. And it's very little. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend that one too. It is essentially we get to choose. Pain and suffering are not necessarily the same thing. If you can identify where the pain is and compartmentalize the suffering, you can it's not going to always stay in the positive, but you can still take away what you need to take away from it and turn the bad thing into something good.
Good. Yeah.
And the ripple effect of that, right? So obviously the Holocaust, terrible, 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 terrible atrocities. But then I always go to this man wrote this book, and it has had huge impact on how people view their mind.
Right.
And people can take everything, but they cannot take your mind.
I feel like, so I've been doing this, so I've been shooting a lot of YouTubes, and in the YouTubes a lot of time I'm like, well, it's raining. Raining's terrible for show trucks, especially if you got to drive it. Because you lose hours and hours and hours and lots of money's worth of cleaning and detailing. But sometimes it's like, well, you know what? Because it rained, I ended up here and I met this person, or I went here and this happened. So it usually just works out. So just try not to freak out about the small stuff.
That's totally, I believe in that. That's how my whole life is these days.
What other beliefs do you think we have?
I don't know.
Haven't gotten very far in the fishbowl.
That's kind of how this happens. We don't have to answer all of them. I mean, we
don't have to.
Not every question in here, but I do have one question that's not in here because I'm interested.
Yeah.
How much money is sitting around that square?
Lots.
Like how many millions?
Well,
if you had to guess, because I walked around and I was like,
yes.
And the cabs of some of these was just mind blowing.
So I don't know. Obviously, this is kind of my job. So, by the way, shirt's coming of that. That's kind of my job.
That's kind of my job.
I'll explain that later. But anyway, it is kind of my job to know about show trucks and parts and what they cost, because we do a lot of stuff with people. There's a lot of people here that make parts that we're friends with, and it's always like, hey, we give feedback on that kind of thing. So I kind of know what those cost. But generally speaking, if somebody asks me, what does it take to build a show truck? Now, I'm not talking about a truck that you work every day, that you put some nice parts on.
Which some of those are here too.
There's a bunch of those.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about working trucks. Those guys are working those every day. They put in a visor, fenders. Hey, they might be really, really nice. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a full-blown, what I call a show truck, and I'm going to differentiate those just a little bit. A sure enough show truck that I hauled here on a trailer, took the stacks off. It's never really been driven. It'll drive down the road. It'll do the parade, but it's not.
It's never driven.
Our trucks, we do tour them. I call them touring show trucks. So we drive them to shows. I drove it from Texas to here. It's been to Vegas. It's been to Florida. You know what I mean? Like, we actually drive it. Sometimes we use it to haul another truck. Now, I've never hauled a paying load on it. So touring show truck. But if you're building a show truck or a touring show truck, you're going to have $500,000 in it.
How many actual show trucks are here?
At least 10. So,
I mean, I was walking around that square and I was like, I told Bob, I said, if there's not $20 million worth of trucks here between all of that and I would be shocked.
Well, there's 3 brand new trucks that are down there with dealerships.
Are those the ones with the lids popped?
No, there's some that are popped. They're by the booths. They're brand new.
Okay.
There's a brand new 990 down there. There's a brand new W9 Kenworth, both Kenworths down there, and then there's a brand new. Was it International or? I forget the actual brand. Maybe it's Western Star. I don't know. There's a brand. So there's 3 brand new trucks there. Like if you went in nuts and bolts and talked about it, maybe they're 250, 220. I don't know exactly spec'd out, but basically $300,000 to buy a new truck. Yes, you can get them cheaper than that, but there's 900.
Just there.
Just sitting there. So there's $1 million in brand new trucks out there.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. Obviously, I don't know the people. I've seen it before, but the Kenworth, there's a model Kenworth down there, which is the big hood, older vintage Kenworth. That yellow and white Kenworth is down there. I would say that's $1 million truck.
I got a video of that thing last night.
It's a Keeler. He's a guy that builds trucks. Everybody knows who he is. He builds those type of trucks, and generally in those older Cummins engines, which has a KTA in that. But that thing's like chromed out. That's a complete tear down. Every nut and bolt was touched. Put it back together. Everything's painted front to back. I'm going to say that's $1 million truck.
Wow. Well, it is beautiful.
So you've got, when you talk about millions, there's $1 million in one truck sitting in the middle of the deal. The truck beside it that Stegall built, I would guess that thing's got to be in that range. I mean, for sure, 750, if not. Probably. I'm going to look at it. When I go down today, I'm going to look at them with fresh eyes just based on this conversation. Right. Huh, interesting. Okay. I would ask Stegall that. Okay. Because he literally built it. He knows what's in it. Yeah. I don't know if they want to give that information out, but I will tell you this. The purple truck that we have, I don't know if you took videos of it. It's a 2024. We bought it and had it built, and we got about $450 in it. Wow. But literally, like, I know that we changed the bolts out around the shifter plate. We didn't have to do that, but they're all chrome. All the other ones are a certain kind. There's a lot of money in there that people don't see. So I mean, I don't even know the count of trucks here.
They were expecting 150. Now I don't know if there's fully. It's hard to tell because they have them double stacked. Around the square on both sides.
There's probably 100 here.
Yeah, I would say.
Sure.
I mean, just with I did wonder if the heat would affect because it's like this walking on the sun out there.
Let's just you pull out
I can pull off the next question.
You can pull a card. I'm just going to do some quick math. I'm terrible at math, but I'm really good on the calculator. So I'm just going to shoot 200.
All right, this is going to be trucking culture and hot topics for Truck Show Joe, Truck Show Joe. That does work better.
It sounds way better.
It does work better.
I shot it low. That's how much money it's at. There's 20 million. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
20 million? There's at least 20 million.
I'm good. I'm a good estimator. Not really good with specifics. Okay. What is the unwritten rule on the road every driver should know? Let's apply this to truck drivers only. We'll talk about peons like me.
What is the unwritten rule on the road? The laws, like, what I mean? Like, you should know those. And not everybody's following those. Obviously, I've not followed all the rules, but you should know them, I think, at least.
I agree. What's the one thing that drives like a rule that truckers have to follow that drives them the most crazy? Do you think?
Probably the logbook rules, honestly.
Really?
Well, they're just so hindrance. They're just such a hindrance to you. They mess up your whole day. And a lot of times, most of the time, it's out of the driver's hands what's happening. You know what I mean? Like they didn't mean to get held up for 4 hours getting loaded, but that counts against their day.
Right.
I like to explain logbooks as, like, imagine if a soccer mom had to fill out a logbook. Okay. All right. Stay with me. We're going to get up at 8. Kids are ready. We're going to the soccer game. We're going to be at the field by 9. Oh, we've got to stop by the grocery store. When they got to the grocery store, they didn't have what they needed, so they had to drive to the other grocery store, which there was a traffic jam because of a car wreck. I made them late to the game, blah, blah, blah. By the end of the day, this has affected their day all the way out. And at the end of the day, they were going to go to Walmart and get groceries, but they're out of time. They can't go there because their clock's out, and they have to just go home.
So is that, okay, really So when you say the logbook, that is, they're pulling in to a station and getting it inspected, or
you could, but like you're running it on a device, and you could actually get pulled over 3 days from now and get in trouble for what you did 3 days ago because you have to keep X amount of days.
Wow.
But it's basically a log, for people that don't know anything about trucking, it's basically a log per day of everything you do, and you can only run a certain amount of hours before you have to take a break.
What are the hours?
14 hours. So you can work a 14-hour day. It gets really complicated. We could go on for days, but basically you can drive 11 hours in a daytime, and then you can work the other 3. The other 3 are considered what they call like on-duty, not driving. On-duty, not driving, which would be fueling, getting loaded. You can go to straight off-duty to have a meal. So you could just like completely save that time. Hey, I'm stopped to eat.
Right.
So you could get...
So you have to document everything.
You have to document everything. But just imagine if you were trying to go through your day, and because of things that happened throughout the day, it affected you. And at the end of the day, you could not do like the one thing you were wanting to do is swing by and get groceries for the family. And you can't do that because you're out of time and you only have enough time to get home. You know.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Did a lot of people get out of the business, like old truckers?
Because of the
yeah,
for sure.
Because that came around.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not a detail person. Like that's really not my strength. And do you know what a CRM is?
I don't.
So it's like a client. I don't even know. It stands for something, but it's basically how companies track clients or activities or like a. So for me, it's candidates, right? That I'm recruiting. Well, I have my own system. They have an official system,
right? And
I am the worst about using the official system because it is cumbersome.
Yes.
It does not help me do my job any better.
Right.
I know exactly where everybody is in my own system, but if I don't pivot very quickly, it's going to be a problem.
Right.
Because that's just what it is. But yeah.
That's kind of the way it was.
I can't imagine driving and having to do all of that. I mean, I get why it's there on some level, I guess, but damn.
You used to be on paper, and you could fudge things to look a certain way. That's why they did away with it. Yeah. Because everybody was fudging that.
Everybody's like, I've been working 36 hours. My pupils are this big.
But yeah, I mean, just imagine if, a traffic jam or any of those things really messed your whole day up because you lost those hours, you can't get them back. So, anyway, but I would say the logbook rules, they got to follow those. Those are kind of a hindrance. And hey, sometimes they keep you from being prosperous. Like hey, I could have made an extra $100 a day on that last run, but I didn't have time to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It can cost you money and the trucking company and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What's our next hot topic?
That's the stuff that I don't think about. Okay.
Wild card. I'll pull it out. I'll pull one out of there.
It's not probably as wild as you think it is, but it just kind of means it goes to anything.
If your truck could describe your personality, what would it tell us? So the truck I'm in right now, the truck that I just built is even more on this. When I say built, I had people build it. I don't want people grilling you going, that guy's never touched a wrench in his life. I did turn wrenches on it, but I get your point. Had built would be more of, but I'm really more of a really clean, less is more look.
Okay.
So I think my personality would be less can sometimes be more.
Would the people in your life agree with that?
I don't know. They'd probably say I'm a little extravagant.
Okay, so I marry those two things together. Where are you extravagant?
Well, I want it to stand out. That's extravagant, right?
Okay.
But I think it stands out because it's less is more.
Because it's clean lines and it's just done well.
There you go, yeah.
Okay.
Man, we're getting in some... Okay, so that was done. Are we where
okay.
Are we?
All right.
I don't need to say more about it. I think that...
You can. Less is more. Less is more, people. There you have it.
What are we going to go on about?
All right. Now, we might go through all of these. We'll see.
Let's see what we got. We're going to have to clean her. We're going to have to... What question would you ask your future self if you could?
Future Joe.
I'm going to tie this into this whole thing here. Was I successful?
So...
I would ask myself that.
Do you really not feel successful?
No.
Why? Because of the money?
I don't know. It's a really good point. I mean, I don't actually have a schedule.
There you go.
I could have slept in until this. But I felt like I needed to get up and come. Well, I shot YouTube this morning, so I felt like I needed to do stuff this morning. I feel like I should have opened my truck up so people could look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of is my job, too.
Right?
So, I don't know. Yeah, but I don't feel successful.
Okay, so...
A lot of people think
do we need to talk about your childhood?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. You have those pictures?
What is your trauma?
I took a couple of these tests lately, and I'm not seeing either one of the pictures.
I don't actually forget where I live. That seems bad.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know though. That's funny that you say that. I think a lot of people maybe would look at it and be like, golly, that guy's successful, but I guess I don't really think like that.
So this is something that I know is high performers always feel like they're not quite there yet.
Right.
Would you describe yourself as a high performer?
I mean, maybe, yeah, probably. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm a little lazy about it sometimes, but I mean, we do this every weekend. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. Where
in your life would you point to laziness? I'm interested. You read books. You believe in manifesting.
Well,
all over the country doing show
just
trucks.
for the record,
you manifested an entire job in a trucking company with social media that impacted people wanting to work for the company. Like, I haven't known you that long, but all those things kind of point to you get shit done.
Well, I like you. I can tell you that right now. I mean, I'm...
My day is complete.
Actually blown away right now because I've not really put this... I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess what more you need to say about it? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I do feel that way, and but like when you say it out loud like that, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, here's the... Right, Joe, like, everybody has stuff.
Yeah.
This is the one thing that it's in the podcast, it's outside of the podcast, is we have such big breaks on our own thinking about our lives, and we're out there. Most of us are out there swinging the bat pretty damn hard.
Right.
Like there's a lot of people that they're putting pieces together. Like you didn't learn formally about social media, right?
No.
You don't have a marketing degree.
No.
You're not a Gen Zer,
no.
Which would be you grew up with it.
Yeah, that's true. I've had to really learn that curve of it, like, the whole video and then the editing. And there's probably way easier ways to do it if I talk to a guy, the right.
I don't know. It all changed. I mean, just like you saw me fumbling with this new stuff and like, exactly. Why you do it? And
So, yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
I'm going to diagnose you and say that there's something about money that's got you twisted up about not allowing yourself to feel successful. Is my professional recommendation that you work through that and drop that because
I'm going to take that advice. I mean, I'm going to leave her today.
And not to plug my industry, but because I do recruit for financial advisors, I'm not one, so I'm not asking. But like, go get one. If that's a hang up, I guarantee you will feel more successful if you have a plan.
We learned today.
There you go.
A lot of people refer to me as TSJ for short. So TSJ next week is probably going to get a financial advisor.
Right. I know some people. I can hook you up. But
where are we going next?
I don't know. What do you want to do next? We can go back to.
We got a lot in that one.
All right, do the beliefs.
This is the
I think you like that. I don't know
how you're keeping this all straight.
I don't really know either, to be honest.
How should the trucking?
That's trucking industry. Damn it.
How should the trucking industry better support drivers' mental and physical health? Golly, we could dive into this so far.
It's a big one. I mean, here's what I think. Unless you're in this world, I don't know anything about trucking and truckers. And I did have a cousin who was like a logistics chief for Schneider. And I'm not gonna lie, the stories I heard, I was like, what now? Like, What's happening? But now I'm here, and now I'm having these experiences and talking to James, and I'm like, the pride. I mean, I've talked to fifth generation truckers out there who are doing big things or doing their own thing, but it's got to be hard to be out on the road all the time.
That's what I was going to say. These guys, where I would go with this, they really probably should do a few things, and you are out on the road. It's very long. But at the same time,
there's a man with a kangaroo in his cap. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. At the same time, though, I also feel like that some of these trucker type guys are not good at being. They probably couldn't work a normal job where a boss is looking over their shoulder all day.
Yeah.
Even though I have people looking over me, there's not somebody standing behind me watching everything. Hey, you need to be from this town to this town today in this amount of hours. By the way, stop at these 3 places and pick up these items. So there is somebody telling you what to do. They're pulling your chain, but they're not pulling your chain all the time. So the guy that can't have a boss works well in trucking, but he doesn't get to be with his family. So maybe he's got to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just trade-off on it, I guess. But you do miss a lot of stuff at home. It can be hard on families, can directly impact kids and stuff. So anything, I guess, to help with that.
Are there things in place? Like, do bigger companies
Some
have
companies
things?
probably do that. We just try to throw money at it. We're like, hey, we're going to pay you really good to be gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're still going to be gone.
Right.
You're not going to get to see your kids.
But that's that cultural aspect of, well, if there's enough money, then it'll trump everything else.
Exactly.
But that is just not true. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, look at Britney Spears.
Right.
Do you watch her Instagram?
She's crazy.
Yeah, it's
interesting.
Horrible. I feel horrible for her, but wow.
And one thing I was going to bring up that's kind of interesting to me. So back in the day, you had truck stops, and it was kind of like that was kind of your family. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm going to go to the exit 136 to Lisa's truck stop.
Right, diner.
And and at Lisa's truck stop and diner. And I'm going to go there and see Tina, who works there every Saturday at the desk.
Yep.
And she makes her grandma makes the really good pies. And there was that, but that's not a thing anymore.
It's not.
Most of those, these big corporate truck stops have put that out. And, you could argue and say, well, there's still truck stops. Yes, there is, Loves and stuff. And they're kind of handy to get in and out of for the most part. You can fuel really fast and you can get a shower and all that stuff. But Love's really doesn't want you to be there as a truck stop. They used to, you went to a truck stop, that's where you were parking, that was your home for the night, that's where you were going to be. Love's really wants you to pull in, come in and buy $50 worth of stuff, get in your truck and drive out of there so another truck can park in that spot and come in and spend $50.
I mean, in terms of a business model, that makes sense. But I also see what you're saying. Right. It's just, and so where are they driving onto? Just a rest, exit.
They're not. They're staying the night there because you've got to shut down because of your law.
Yeah.
So legally, you've got to stop. So you're stopping there, and that's where you're staying. But Love's in a picture. It'd be nice. What I'm saying is it would be nice if Love's was a little more accommodating, but hey, they're not because they want you to just leave and let another guy come in there and spend money. So that world's kind of changed. So I think that, there might have been some aspects of that out there in the world, but they're kind of going away. Yeah.
Okay, so the CB.
CB, yes.
First of all,
I don't leave home without them. If that was going to be the question. If I have one.
Do you?
I do not. I'm not driving a truck 10 feet without a CB. That's what.
For real?
the new trucks that I pick up don't have CBs in them, and I drive that trip home. But I always see somebody that I would talk to, and I don't have a CB.
So that is still a thing?
It's still a thing, but it's definitely not as big as it once was.
I wondered because of phones. I mean, that's the, like, what was the Nextel was a phone that did like push to talk.
I had one of those.
And that was basically a CB on the phone kind of deal, but different waves, I guess.
Well, that's more of a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, okay, you're right. That's a better way to explain that.
CB's a little different, but yeah.
So CB seems like more camaraderie to me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you've got a couple guys that are running together every day, you just get a CB and you talk on CB all day.
Yeah.
And I've had a really extremely good time talking on CBs. I mean, you learn about people and you go around. It's kind of fun. But it's also community. It's very, you can get good information off of it if people would talk. Yes. There are people talking, yes.
Yeah.
There are a couple of problems since we're diagnosing all these things. Because this is basically everything we need to fix in trucking, right?
I guess maybe that'll be the title.
We need to bring the FCC back. All the funding went away for the FCC. The FCC is the Federal Communications Corporation, and back in the day they were too controlling, so everybody wanted to get rid of them.
Right.
And they finally kept funding and got rid of them. That also controls radios. Howard Stern was always griping about the FCC being up his butt.
Oh yeah, well.
So. They kind of did away with it, but now there's no regulation on it. There's all these people talking what they call skip, which is where Doug that lives in his mom's basement, has got a 7,000 watt linear and a tower that he built custom out of parts he got off of eBay. And Doug is
living in his mom's basement.
Doug is on the CB just talking just the most random BS at a high level, and you can hear him all over the United States. Well, Doug's talking to Bill, who's doing the same thing, and they're just talking about nothing. And so your CB channels are clouded with all this junk, so you've got to really cut your levels back so you can adjust how far out you can hear and all this kind of thing.
Huh.
Well, now you've got to adjust all this back so far that you almost can't hear the guy beside you or the truck across you, but it's just so dirty. And we really need to, if they could clean that up a little bit, it would help. Here's another thing.
When you say dirty,
it's just like all these sounds, and a guy's coming.
What kind of talk is happening?
Yeah, and if you're talking like me and you, the voice is like this, but you got this guy in the background. I'm over here, you know what I mean? He's like in the background. You can't tune him out, and he's not even saying anything worth listening.
Yeah,
he's just talking. And the thing about it is, there's 40 channels on the CD. Okay, 19 has always been the trucker channel. Why are those guys on 19? They've got 40 other channels to bullshit on.
First of all, I did not even know that there are people. I mean, I do know that there are people living in their parents' basement who really should do something about that. But I did not know that they were just sitting on a CB channel all day.
And maybe they're not. I don't know. I just brought up I might have cooked that up in my brain. But
right.
I don't know. Comment on this podcast and tell us if this is a real thing.
Yeah, Doug, in your mom's basement.
You don't get to comment.
Please let us know.
We want everybody to comment about Doug. But really, there are these guys that everybody knows. Actually, one guy actually did get arrested. They went, and I think the FCC actually did do something, but he was like broadcasting like this really ridiculous thing out of New Mexico. I think it's New Mexico. And he was just on there all the time. And so,
wow.
But in the radio world, my dad was a ham radio guy, and he would sometimes get on and talk to truckers over on.
Well, that's what I was trying to think what that was called.
Yeah, ham radio.
Yeah, when you were talking about that, I was like,
there's thousands of channels in the ham world. These are not those kind of those are licensed actual operators that enjoy talking on the radio, and they build their little radio and their towers. There are legitimate people like that, but there's just these few guys that use that and they get on Channel 19. I don't understand why they want to get on that channel. They're just on there to cause havoc. And it'd be nice if the FCC would get rid of them. But yeah, CBs are a thing. I think they would come back a little more if they did that.
What's your handle? Well, I guess.
Truck Show Joe.
Duh.
But hey, actually, good question.
Sorry.
Good question. It's actually Bullwinkle.
What?
Bullwinkle. Like a little cartoon character. Yeah. So when I first started trucking, my first actual trucking job that I hired onto, that I was so young, they'd never hired anybody that young before. And I was 18 and they wanted you to be at least 20 at the time or 21. But the guy goes, hey, we're going to give you a chance, but you've got to ride and train for 7 days with another driver. Yeah. So the first week I worked, I was in the truck. And when me and this guy that was training me would pull in and go, oh, there's Rocky and Bullwinkle pulling in again. And he already had a handle. He was hillbilly. So I just kept the
became Bullwinkle.
Yeah, which is really crazy.
That's kind of funny.
My friend from school's name was Rocky, and he started trucking, and we really were
Rocky
and Bullwinkle for a minute. Yeah. And we would team drive some a little bit. So, yeah.
I love that.
But, yeah, Bullwinkle is the handle. But nobody really calls me that anymore. If you're somewhere and somebody was to come up and call me that out loud at a truck show, this is a person I'll know.
This is an OG.
For a minute, yeah.
This is an OG.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, we are going to do a lightning round. And you know what I just figured out? Well, let's hope that this recorded correctly.
Yes. You don't have your mic on.
Well, I don't have anybody's mic on. Welcome to learning how to do this on your own.
Mine probably picked it up. It's probably working from right there.
It probably is. Well, I don't even have it on because I don't have
Oh, I don't have one on either. I had one on earlier.
It's going to, well, you know what?
I think it'll be fine.
It is going to be fine.
Hey, I can tell you how to fix that in CapCut.
Okay. Great.
You can raise
Joe's
volume.
my new best friend.
You can raise volume.
Okay.
You can enhance your situation.
Lightning round.
Okay. Does this have to do with these or we're just...
It's just you and just sharing who you are. Okay. Sunrise drive or sunset drive?
Gosh, you're so good.
You don't understand the lightning round.
I know. Sunset.
Okay. Chrome or horsepower?
Chrome.
One word that describes your trucking peers.
Cool.
Favorite stretch of highway? You don't have one. I don't have one.
They're all good.
That's such a lie. You've clearly never driven on 70.
That's true.
Have you never driven on 70?
I have. No, I have.
That's not that. There's nothing good about 70, at least in Missouri.
I've been on too many roads. I really like.
Have you been out west?
Yeah. Roads aren't great.
It's true. Beautiful though.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't answer.
Note to the United States. Note to the United States.
Fix the roads.
Fix the roads in a more timely way. Dream truck.
I think I'm in it.
Oh, cool.
I mean, the brown one that I've been taking is pretty close. The brown cow truck.
Okay, that's really cool.
The other show truck.
Okay, person you talk to the most when you're on the road?
Other truck drivers. Some of our truck drivers and truck driver friends.
Yeah. Do you talk to yourself while you're driving?
Yes. But that's not my favorite person to talk to. Because sometimes he don't know what he's talking about.
Sometimes he's crazy.
Yeah.
He's obstinate. He's crazy.
He's unsuccessful.
He sucks.
He's not a good driver.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Call me if you need a job.
Yeah.
Most challenging aspect of the career?
It's demanding.
Yeah. It's demanding. It seems to me like it must be demanding all the way around. Mentally, it could be physical, emotionally, all of that.
Some of that is self-inflicted, I will agree. But, on paper, there's a guy that's just traveling around going to truck shows. And, sometimes we do a little drinking, partying with really cool people. I'm on social media. I'm on other people's social media. Everybody seems to know me. We're allowed to party, all that, everything. But, hey, we're at one of these every week. Yeah,
it's a lot. You're on a lot.
You know what I mean? Like you work your job and you get 1 weekend off a month. You're probably at a cookout at your friend's house, or maybe you went to somebody's wedding, or we don't do any of that. We're gone.
I go all the time. My boyfriend and I are long distance, so that's part of it. But I also have parents, and I also am fun, and I like to go do all the things.
Yes.
And this is true. Last weekend was the first weekend since the middle of May that I have not been spoken for doing something, driving somewhere, all in on something. And I was so excited. I came in this place on Friday. My car did not move until Monday.
Yes, right.
I think I left the place twice to go downstairs and have a drink at Mary Jane's.
Yeah. The talking to people, which is social relations, which I'm good at, and that's what I really kind of get paid to do. But it's not even that people are exhausting. It's just what I'm saying is go stand anywhere. Go to your local supermarket at 7 a.m. and stay there till 7 at night, just standing on the front talking to people. Like anybody that walks up, just go, hey, what are you doing today? And tell me how tired you are at the end of the day.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then that's just ended the social relations part. Then those guys that are your friends that are cool, all the truck drivers, they're down here at the bar and they want to have a couple drinks till 7 in the morning.
Okay.
I don't know if you 7.
Did you really stay out till 7 o'clock this morning?
No.
Because you look fresh as a daisy.
Yeah.
And I would like to know what you're doing.
I didn't do that. But there have been times I was at shows that kind of, literally the sun, like, hey, the sun's coming up. I have to go get a couple hours sleep.
Yeah, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last question. First of all, thank you so much for being a guest,
Yes.
especially since you've never even heard of this podcast.
Well, but look at what all we've accomplished.
I think that here's one thing that I have learned about. I will not go back and listen to this until it's produced.
Right.
Because number one, I don't want to pick it apart. But I'm at 20 to 25, 26 episodes. Every time I listen to it the day it's released, I experience it as a listener, and my whole experience is different than the one that you and I just had. So I actually feel really selfish because I get to have this experience with you, and then I'm going to listen to it and realize there was a lot of takeaways for people. Like you may not realize it, but like you definitely dropped some things that I think people will walk away with and be like, okay, that's a new way to think.
Right.
That's something I didn't know, or maybe I can give that person the benefit of the doubt because there are on the road 7 days a week or 5 days a week or, all of those things.
Yeah, I do other stuff during the week for Southern. But yeah, it's funny you say that because I do the same thing because I do go back and watch my stuff. And I shoot these YouTubes, and sometimes they're an hour long. But and somebody's like, "You really watch your videos? That's kind of weird." Hey, I watch them because I want to make sure that they're good.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Now I will watch. I am going to reframe that.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing it this way, because I'm going to pull some clips out of this. I'm going to send you some stuff. Obviously, it'll be a little bit different. But the podcast as a whole, just the sound of it, I probably won't hear it until it's out to the airwaves.
I also, though, as odd as it would be, I also feel exactly what you're saying. I kind of listen to them as a listener too. It's like it's almost like I wasn't there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I know.
And they're like, "Oh, I kind of forgot we said that." You know.
Well, so one of the things I have realized, and I don't know if it's because of this format, and maybe it's just in general. I don't have a target. My target is to know the person that's in front of me and see what they have to share with the world. Like, cheesy as that sounds, to some people that is really the target. Most of my guests call me at some point and say, "What did we talk about?"
Right.
And I'm like, "Yeah, because it's not your usual shit."
Yeah.
You're not performance mode. You're literally like, "I don't know. Let's answer that question. Let me think about that."
Right.
So I do have one final question, and I ask this of everybody. 5 generations from now, somebody in your family, in your bloodline, comes across this podcast. They'll probably be in, the robots will be sharing it with each other. What do you want them to take away about you?
This is going to sound so cheesy, but I just kind of want everybody to think that I was, or know that I was cool, and that I can hang out with anybody, and I didn't need to write a script or anything. We could just do it. Like if somebody says, "Hey, let's do a podcast. What are we going to talk about?" It doesn't matter. And that rolls into like-minded people. Okay. Whenever I tell somebody, "Hey, that guy's like-minded," what does that mean? That means that if we were to talk about faucets for sinks, we could carry an hour-long intelligent conversation about that.
Yeah.
And probably go learn, he would bring up, my grandma had one. I wish they still made them like this, but my grandma had this faucet.
Right.
It's like, oh, I actually saw a brand that's doing that now. You know what I mean? So I guess just, my dad died pretty early, and I ended up speaking at his funeral. And the thing that I wanted to say, my dad came to me one day and he said, "I'm done with everything but having fun. If it's not fun, I don't want to do it."
How old was he?
52 when he died. Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
pretty early. I'm almost as old as him now. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. And so I think that like me, I just wanted not necessarily to be cool, but like hanging out with Joe was cool, and look at what they did and kind of the outlook on things. But it did take me, I do want to say this too, it did take me a minute to get here. Everybody asked me if I have any regrets. I don't have any regrets. I just wish this would have happened a little earlier to me in life. But it wasn't until I took a certain couple of career paths that everything changed.
Risk.
Before I was just on cruise control. Well, I drive a truck and I haul rock in Dallas and Fort Worth every day. That's what I do.
That's the lesson. That's if anybody takes anything away from that moment right there, that should be the lesson, which is if you are willing to pivot, the life, you may not have everything that you want right this second, but the life that you dream of is within touch.
It's close. You just have to know how to get it.
And you have to believe that it's there.
Yes.
You have to believe.
In your destiny.
Exactly right. Yeah. Exactly right.
I think that, a lot of people are like, "How did you get this job? How did you get this? How did you get the boys to let you do that?" And I was like, "Hey, it was pretty simple. I just asked." And hey, guess what? They said no a few times, and we didn't do those things. But you want to know what's funny? Later down the road, they're like, a year ago, you asked me something, and I thought, maybe we should do that.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like,
so a lot of times,
it just wasn't the right time.
no was not actually a no. It just was not. It was not the right time.
That's really cool.
So maybe that's what I want. You just need to ask, probably.
You just need to ask. Yeah. You ask and believe. I love it. Okay, well, friends, that is today's episode.
I do want to point out there's a lot of fishbowl questions we could easily do.
We could, but that's why it's random.
Yes.
You just don't know. I mean, it's so funny. I find that people want to continue doing it.
No, there's probably a question in there that I was like ready for my whole life to get, and I'm never going to know.
I think it was probably one of these. I think, first of all, if I have to go through the whole thing about why you're successful again, I mean, if you take nothing away, that is the thing that you actually need to start adopting. That's probably why you stop reading books at a certain point, because there's some kind of hard block that you have that you're not quite there. But I think probably you really are there, and whatever you think is without or not in reach quite yet, just let go of that.
Yeah. Well,
there you go. That's today's coaching, folks.
One thing I do want to be clear about, I was going to mention earlier, I'm very good at reading. I can read really fast and retain knowledge. I just don't have that much time to do it, so I listen to a lot of audio books.
Oh, yeah, I love audio.
Because I'm driving. So,
well, we're thankful that you're not reading while you're, don't read while you're, it's bad enough people are like watching TV on the road, but
that would be dangerous.
That would be dangerous. Don't do that. So, okay, well, friends, Fishbowl Roulette, I think this is episode, I'm not going to say a number, but I think that it's going to come out next week. 25, so I just said it, so it is coming out next week. If you guys are new here, I hope you enjoyed it. If you heard something that you like, share it. Go find us on Spotify, YouTube, iHeart, everywhere you podcast. Keep us going. I kind of been digging it. I'm going to have to edit that part, I think. No, we'll just leave it. Yeah. We'll just leave it. We're just going to leave it. Anyway, like us, give us a review, and go follow Truck Show Joe. His stuff is pretty fun. If you are a truck guy, truck girl, or you're just fascinated by Chrome, this is the guy. And you're on TikTok, you're on Facebook, you're everywhere.
Instagram, Snapchat, some app they probably haven't created yet. And then I am doing YouTubes. So so I usually do like a road to the show. So there'll be like a road to I-55, and then there'll be the I-55 show.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll go watch it.
The in between, the road twos are like all the in between stuff I do for Southern.
Cool.
A little bit of my personal life, but
Okay. All right.